My name is Cashin Nunez, and I'm a financial planner, mortgage loan originator, and real estate investor. And today I'm going to be explaining to you how to get to a $1 million TSP balance as a company grade officer. Let's cash in. Finance for the everyday millennial. Hard charging solutions. We provide an accelerant in the journey towards financial independence. So today we are going to be looking at one of my favorite employer-sponsored retirement vehicles, the TSP or Thrift Savings Plan. And we are going to be focusing on how to maximize it as a company grade officer. So in the Army, it's a captain. In the Air Force, it's a captain or lower. In the Marine Corps, it is a captain. And then in the Navy, it is a lieutenant junior grade. Or a lieutenant. Yeah, lieutenant. All right, so first I have to explain the assumptions that we had to come up with in order to get to the numbers that I'm about to explain to you. And so I'm just going to go ahead and read those here and then explain to you why we made those assumptions. So the first one is that the base pay is starting in the year 2025. So you obviously have to start someplace, right? So we're starting in the year 2025. The second assumption is that there's going to be a 4% increase in pay each year to account for time and service increases. And so this is based on numbers that we've seen since about 2017, 2018. The average increase in pay for folks in the military has been about 4%. So that's where we're coming up with that number, a 4% increase. We also have to make the assumption on contribution limits. Here it's a $500 increase to the contribution limit for each year. That is based on the Internal Revenue Service, or the IRS, coming up with this number on how much money you can contribute to your employer-sponsored plan. In the year 2025, that number is $23,500. And so we are basing this based on the last 15 or so years. So since about 2009, 2010, we've seen on average about a $500 increase to that contribution limit. So we're just expecting that to continue for the duration of this plan. So let me go ahead and underline that. A $500 increase to the contribution limit. We're also making the assumption that as a captain, so company grade officer, you're starting at 6 years experience. So you've already passed the rank of second lieutenant and first lieutenant, and you're like a brand new captain. You've got 6 years of experience, and at the beginning of this plan, you have $0 in contributions to your TSP. I pray that that is not the situation. I would hope that, going through Bullet, going through college, meeting a bunch of different people in the field, that you have contributed something to your thrift savings plan at this time or by this time. But these numbers are based on 0, which means they're extremely conservative numbers. So you should be getting to $1 million before 21 years of service, if you already are starting with a balance that is above 0. But that is one of the assumptions that we're making, 6 years of experience, and that's where the base pay starts. The other assumption that we're making is a 10% return on investment compounded annually, accounting for 2% inflation. So we're not compounding this per pay period. We're not looking at 24 pay periods in the calendar year, so the 1st and the 15th. We are only making the assumption that every year your money increases by 12%. 10% in real numbers. So 10% accounting for inflation. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and underline that 10%, and we are accounting for inflation. And we're also assuming that you've opted into the BRS. The BRS came about in like 2018, and there was a 2-year or so window where you can opt in or you can stay high 3, legacy high 3. And for the purposes of this illustration and this demonstration, you are in the blended retirement system. All these numbers are based on you being in the BRS. Okay, so now that we're done with the explanation of the assumptions, we're going to jump into orienting you to this chart. So the first thing is the calendar year, and that's kind of self-explanatory, right? We're making the assumption that the plan with a 0% TSP balance starts in the year 2025. You are a captain with 6 years experience. Again, this is year 1. And based on your pay, your base pay, not your basic allowance for housing, not your basic allowance for subsistence, not any special pays that you're entitled to, not family separation, nothing else. It's just your base pay. You make $7,418 a month in base pay. So based on that number, you need to contribute 26%, this is the percent contribution, to your thrift savings plan in order to max out the contribution limit of $23,500 in the year 2025. This 5% match is an awesome bonus given to folks that are in the blended retirement system. And so 5% every single month looks like $371 or so going towards your TSP for a total contribution of $27,600 or so, right? So you're able to contribute above the limit because the match is not counted against you. So in the year 2025, the first year of this plan, you have contributed, and the auto agency match has contributed a total of $27,600. And then taking into consideration that 10% return on investment, we're gonna continue to use real numbers, right? So it's 12%, but minus the 2% for inflation, you get to 10% real rate of return. The balance of your TSP should be about $30,354. All right, that's pretty good. After 1 year of contributions, you have about $30,000 towards your retirement. So if we continue to go down this chart, we will see a couple of things at play here. We will see the percent contribution decrease as you start to gain years of service and your pay increases. It doesn't take a large percent of your base pay to continue to max out the contribution limit year after year. That contribution limit is going up by $500, so the percent contribution number isn't going down as fast as it otherwise would if that number stayed the same, but it is going down. And we're expecting some promotions, right? So after 13 or so years time in service, or 6 years as a captain, you should be looking at major. And so that comes with a nice pay increase and years of service, which again decreases you from 26% down to 23%. That 5% match is going up because 5% of a larger number is a larger number. We're accounting for $500 every year in that contribution limit going up. And so we started at $23,500. Now we're at $26,500. in year 7 of this plan, or in year 2031, right? The total contributions in this year is $31,500 or so. And at year 7, you're at $300,000. In year 6, you're at $250,000. In year 7, you're at $300,000. Because every year that balance is increasing based on that 10% rate of return and based on $30,000 or so of our contributions year over year. And so what I love about this chart is you can see by about year 10, your contribution percent has decreased by 6%. So now you only need to contribute 20% of your base pay, which we are estimating to be $11,400 a month in the year 2034. You're contributing $34,000 based on a contribution limit of $28,000 in the year 2034. And your TSP balance is at $500,000. So you have 16 years experience as a major, a mid-grade major based on your experience, and you have a $500,000 TSP at year 10 of this plan. And so it took you 10 years to get your TSP balance to $500,000, but the last 5 years of this plan, you're going to double that, and you're going to go from $500,000 in a TSP balance all the way up to $1 million, 1.1 almost. Those last 5 years, you are decreasing your contribution percentage still. That's still going down 20%, down to 18%. In year 15, so 21 years of service, you're a senior major. You should be looking at lieutenant colonel somewhere in here, but assuming you're in an MOS that doesn't allow for that or whatever the situation is. Worst case, you're still a major in year 2039, but now you're making $13,800 a month. You're still contributing, you're still in the 30,000s, but you're in the high 30,000s in total contributions, and that gets you to a $1 million TSP balance. So as you look at this chart here, things to really focus on is the percent contribution, because that's gonna impact your quality of life. Are you able to live off of 74% of your base pay? A lot of people don't because they live at their means instead of living below their means in order to contribute to retirement. If that is the case, here at RINO Invest, we can assist you with cash flow analysis. We can really give you an accurate snapshot of where you are and where you need to be in order to maximize contributions to this really powerful wealth generation tool, and then get you on the road toward financial independence. If that's something that interests you, please go ahead into the show notes of this video and click on the link to book a consultation with me. It's 100% free to book that consultation, so no obligation after that consultation, but it's just an opportunity for us to really figure out what your financial goals are, what financial independence looks like for you, what's been the biggest impediment to you participating in something like this, right? And really just see if this is something that you want to get serious about. It's a new year. I'm not a huge New Year's resolution person, but I do understand the importance of writing things down, because things that get written down are way more likely to be accomplished. And so we will do a lot of planning together, writing things down, codifying them, and then follow up. That accountability is really important. Where discipline and accountability meet, usually you'll find success. And so, yeah, that in a nutshell is what this $1 million TSP balance looks like. That's how you get there. I also mentioned earlier that I'm a real estate investor, and so if you're interested in investing in real estate, that is also something that I can assist you with. If you're looking to purchase a home as a mortgage loan originator, I can assist you with that. And so if you thought this was helpful, if you thought this TSP explanation was helpful, or if you've seen some of my other videos and you're interested in that real estate investment aspect, or if you're about to purchase a home and you'd like mortgage loan origination services, please go ahead and go to the show notes of this video, click on that book a consultation link, no obligations, and let's sit down for 30 minutes and really figure out how we can make 2025 a great year for you. And so that's really all I have for you. I appreciate you for watching. And if you enjoy this video, again, like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell for new content. This is Cashin Nunez reminding you to invest in real education, invest in performing assets, get rid of bad debt, and provide oversight to those assets.
The RINO Invest and Cash In with Cashin YouTube channels are hosted by Cashin Nunez. Cashin Nunez is a financial planner with RINO Invest Wealth Management. RINO Invest Wealth Management is a registered investment advisory firm regulated by the Securities Division of the State of Georgia in accordance and compliance with the securities laws and regulations. RINO Invest Wealth Management does not render or offer to render personalized investment or tax advice through the RINO Invest and Cash In with Cash In YouTube channels. The information provided is for informational purposes only, may not be suitable for all investors, and does not constitute financial, tax, investment, or legal advice. All investments involve a degree of risk, including the risk of loss.